Hi, everyone. How we doing? Light in here is not too great. Kind of a gloomy day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in the world, or if you're watching this later on replay. I'm going to see if I can tilt this down. Once again, this is YouTube Live on my laptop. You can see what I'm doing a little bit here. Oh, hello, Alex. How you doing? There. I'll get a few people in here and then we'll get cracking. It is rather difficult to trace on felt. You need like felt type pens, so I got a couple of my heat erase ones. But I'm using silver Sharpie for black. It's going to be a little bigger than I need just because this is a fat Sharpie, but it is what it is. Hello, Kathy. Good morning to you, my neighbor across the border in Washington. Gladys, the confident quilter. Hello, Gladys. And Lynn Lockhart. She says, hi, Kelly, finally made it. And Alex says, I'm good. How are you, Kelly? I am, usual Alex is just, it is what it is. So I'm going to tilt this down a little bit so you can hopefully see what I'm up to. I started tracing, though. So it's really hard to maybe see, but in the thumbnail, I had cookie cutters. These are great templates. I just dug out my box of cookie cutters and went, oh, I'll try a tree. I'll try this. And it works great. But I did trace it. I don't think you can even see that. It doesn't come out that great. You have to just do the best you can so you have something to cut. And I doubled the fabric and I pinned it for security for when I cut it, because whatever shape you want to make, you have to have two. So you can stuff them or put batting in the middle or whatever you want. So I traced out snowman. And now while everybody's coming in, I'm just going to put you down a wee bit here. And I'll see if I can get this hat traced out to look like something. That I can use. I'm only tracing one hat because for the snowman, I'm only going to decorate like one side of him, make him actually look like a snowman. The back part is going to be white. I don't even know if I'm going to get all of these made. I thought I would fiddle around and get this done. It was an idea. I made one for a friend ages ago. And not since then. Okay, that doesn't look too bad, actually. And if I go across there, just kind of freehand it. Like so. It kind of looks like a hat. What do you guys think? It's rough, but it's a hat. Right? Alex, me and Lynn and Kathy are all on the same time zone. Pacific time. Me in British Columbia, Kathy in Washington, Lynn in Oregon, all the way down the coast. So I'm going to put that aside for cutting. For the Christmas tree, I will probably wind up decorating both sides of it. I'm going to show you guys my little stash of stuff I can possibly use too in just a second, but I wanted to get that finished up the tracing. Now, the other thing I want to show you is patterns. I printed these off a gazillion years ago. It says copyright 2024-2025 made2sew.com. At the time, it was a free download for your own personal usage. There's several in here. There's a snowman. There's this robin thing. I don't know. It says it's a robin. Whatever. I think it looks dumb. I'm not going to do that one. There's a heart. I did the heart. So I have like a set of these ones. And then there's another one that I printed off. Again, made to sew. This reindeer. So these are from my binder. They're going to go back in the binder. Put them down there for now. So what I did was I traced them on onion skin paper. Hi, Allison. Alicine Sewing says, good morning, all. Okay, so onion skin paper. Good to trace on, just with pencil, not a problem. And then I used scrapbook adhesive rather than glue, because glue goes all bumpy. And I just stuck that onion skin onto a piece of big paper. I will cut them out and use them. So you can see here on the reindeer, I have a reindeer just himself, which I'll make 2 of. And I'm only going to make 1 heart and 1 antler. So in addition to digging out all my patterns, I went through my bag of felt and found potential colors. So I thought, reindeer body, this sort of coffee brown. Oh, let's take the sticker off. That would help. Antlers, dark brown, and a red heart on his bum. Cute, huh? There's that. And I did cut out the big gingerbread man. I got to think about how to decorate him. I got buttons and stuff, probably will work, but I'm not sure. So this is sort of a gingerbready color. So I will cut out 2 of that. It's quite like a caramelly looking kind of color. I think it'll be perfect. And if I go ahead with doing the heart, I got a big piece of red. So I can cut out 2 hearts from that, but we'll see. I don't know how much time I have to do this. And I will probably, whatever I decide to do and finish, I will show you a video of it. Right now, we're just kind of playing around and getting myself organized. We'll get there. It's not like I don't have 10,000 other things I have to do, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so put that aside. Get rid of that. There goes my eye again. Do I have rickrack, Lynn says. I don't think so. I just went through my box of stuff the other day when I got all this out thinking, oh, I could use that, I could use that. But no, I don't think I have rickrack. I've got various ribbon, I've got jute, I've got, I've got the box of stuff that I've collected. And for the snowman, I do have orange pipe cleaners, so I could give him a nose. But I'm not sure if I just want to like glue it on like flat on his face, or depending how I stuff him, I can maybe stab it into the felt and like, put a hot glue and bit right into the stuffing so it sticks out, maybe. I'll have to think about that part of it. Hi, Kim. Kim Burris has joined us. Yeah, Lynn says buttons will work. Yeah, I have a stash. I'll show you guys in a second. And I'll show you my discards of the ones I didn't use. I'm going to use this sort of pale yellowy kind of, it's really hard to see on camera. I guess you could say it's like antique white or ecru maybe. Doesn't show up great on camera, but I thought it'd be good to do a star out of. Again, this will probably be decorated 2 sides. So I just got to trace that one and get that one out of the way. Just a second, I'm going off camera. Okay, there's one. There's 2. What I might wind up doing, even if I don't finish them all, is get them all traced and cut out. And then I can always leave 2 pieces of felt pinned together out of the way until I do them. I also have this smaller gingerbread man from one of my cookie cutters. And I thought 2 different colors would probably work. One side, one the other side. Does it really matter? No. Maybe your gingerbread cookie cooked more on one side than it did on the other. So there's that one, possibly. I at least wanted to know if I had appropriate felt to do everything. Whether I actually do it all is another story. And this little bell. Now, I don't know if it'll work. or not, because it's kind of small. But I thought this kind of silvery gray for the bell itself. That's probably fine. But I did get a tiny piece of red because I was thinking for the little clapper area, if I could just like cut out a round piece, maybe. I do have kind of largish red beads that might actually work better, but I grabbed this just in case. And maybe for the top bit, again, kind of small, but a piece of this. I don't know yet. We'll see. That one's going to require some thought. But again, potentially it might work. And two, I'm not going to do, at least not right now, candy cane. But Lynn, your rickrack suggestion would totally work, right? Make stripes, ribbon, two. I just thought, nah, I don't want to deal with that right now. So that one's going away. And wine glass. Oops, shoot, as I drop it. If I'd had burgundy felt, I would be doing this 100%. When I was at Fabricland last week doing, buying the Christmas fabric, they had taken all their felt and put it on a rack up at the front and put it 40% off. But that was last week, and I was not thinking of this then. So I didn't pick up anymore. I just went, oh, just in case. Well, I don't know. Might run back next week and see if it's still on sale and get a burgundy. But, I mean, can always get it next year and do it next year. So those ones are not getting done. Good morning, Deb. Deb, the pug mama quilter's in here. Yeah, Kim says that'll work. Yeah, it'd be pretty, right? And Kim is chopping veggies for soup. Ooh, yummy. At the moment, it's not raining. It's just gloomy and cloudy. Rain later on tonight. We're laying relatively low today. I have to run off to my mom and dad's place for a bit and visit because they're off to Mexico with their friends on Monday morning. Good time to go get some sun because November it's the rainy and wet month here. Like Kathy, you know, right? And Lynn probably too. Similar West Coast weather, just wet and gross. So, good time to go to Cabo. Anywho, I'm going to get to tracing again in a minute. Kim says, my best friend will be here later, so baking homemade biscuits too. Yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I'm going to grab my box. I've had this great big box for ages. Unfortunately, the one of the snaps for the lid is busted. Whatever. So, I forget what I've got in here. I have this chain. I sometimes use this as hangers. For example, lace. I don't think that'll work in this instance, but see what I mean? Bits of ribbon, hangers, whatever. Oh, see now. Okay, the bell. I have colored jingle bells. I would probably sew one of those onto the bell if I'm doing it just for sturdiness purposes. You know, some embroidery thread or something. Possible. Little bitty red beads. I'm going to show you guys that they're very small. Can you even see that? Where? There. Tiny, right? They might look like ornaments on the tree if I stick them on there. I could sew them. They're actually a bead. Possibilities. All these little wooden stars and snowflakes. Lynn says, I have an idea. I have a tote. Okay, whoa, hold on. Hang on. Get the glasses working. Lynn has a tote with a broken handle. Oh, hi, Laura. Laura Supp has joined us. Laura has a ton of felt that I purchased with a tub of fabric at a garage sale. I may do this. Yeah, sky's the limit, honestly. Whatever you got, use it. You can take coloring pages and cut something out and make that your template. Like whatever, just go nuts. I have little snowflake buttons. Various sizes of these little pearly things, including big honking ones. A bag of different size buttons. This is kind of what I was thinking of snowman, because there's little small red ones and little small green ones. I think that would be, a couple buttons on his tummy. And if I dig through my bead stash for like my cross stitch beads, I have small jet black beads. I could give him little beady eyes, like coal, I guess, right? But they're in my bead stash. I'm not digging that out right now. What other buttons have I got? Okay, I have. Now this, I thought of this for the tree, maybe. Okay, I want to show you guys. If I can. You can see that. I'm trying to get the camera. Stars. Okay, cool. On the top of the tree. Great. Or silver, maybe, depending. And these little bitty, it's like a gingerbread man cookie cutter. Now, a loop of embroidery floss through his head and sew him down to the tree. They're kind of big, though, compared to the size of the tree. So maybe not, but it's thought. And actually, funnily enough, there's a gingerbread man button. I've just collected this stuff from I don't know where, all over the place. Oh, there's even more of those little pearl things. I got loads of them. Maybe I should use those. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Oh, dear. Okay. That's only the top of the box. Hello, Enid. Itching for stitching. Oh, no, her 1980s sewing machine, I think, is about done. Oh, dear. And she's thinking about getting a Baby Lock Jubilee. Yeah, lots of people that I follow with quilting, they use Baby Locks. They're quite happy with them. And Enid says his other one is cheap, newfangled Singer, which is trucking along for now. Well, at least you got another one. Don't have to borrow off friends like me. I only have one. So that's kind of the semi-plan. Use up some of this stuff. In my other stash, I have like glitter and various things. But in here, okay, see? Orange pipe cleaners. Snowman knows or what, right? More ribbon. I got scads of ribbon. I got black twine. Meh. We'll see. Most of what's down in here is ribbon and jute and whatnot. This ribbon is wide, but it could be, what are we at? 3/8 maybe? This could be a hanger for that big gingerbread man. This could be the hanger on him. Maybe. For example. Yeah. Most of the stuff I want to use is in that top part. My lid back on. Okay, apologies everybody, I gotta blow my nose. Okay, so while I'm at it here, let's trace this star out and get that out of the way. I'll put you back down. Hi, Joe. Vintage Style by Joe. She was just on her live a little bit ago. Sorry, Joe, I was meaning to pop in, but I was getting ready and I didn't have time. She's saying hi to everybody. Joe says, Laura, hope you're feeling crafty. Laura says, Joe, I haven't had a lot of energy lately, but I'm feeling great today. I hope to get a few things done. Wonderful, Lynn. I'm very happy for you. And it is very nice to see you. So thank you for coming in. Can I squeeze that on there? I have a tiny little bit cut out of this. So I'm trying to use this part. And I think I can with this star. I think it will just fit. Let's flatten it down a little bit better, though. Here, I'll scoot you down a bit. Can you see what I'm doing, kind of? If I go this way, there, that's better. Okay. So those other ones I can't do until I cut out the paper pattern. I'll probably just wind up like pinning it onto the felt or something and tracing the best I can. I think I might put pearls on this star. Actually, it would be sort of like a monochrome kind of effect, I guess, maybe. And I do have some ribbon that is a similar color to this felt. Well, think about that. Just wrote on my finger. It's really not the easiest to trace on felt. You just kind of have to get some mark that you can kind of see. So as far as finishing them goes, I have a couple of ideas. It kind of depends on the shape of the ornament, for starters. And I also have to go and look up tutorials and reteach myself how to do blanket stitch by hand because I cannot remember. It's somewhere vaguely in there, but I got to see it again and then I'll remember it. So for the star, for example, okay, this is nice and big, not too many tight little things, right? I will probably do blanket stitch with this. So once I have it both sides decorated to my satisfaction and they're ready to go, get the ribbon, stick it in the top, whatever you want, however you want, right? Then start blanket stitching around it. And I've got some of that fiber fill stuffing whatnot in a bag. So I was going to like partially blanket stitch it around and then rip off bits of stuffing and then stuff it as I go. And then stuff the last bit and stitch it up all the way around so that it has, it's covered, right? And I would use like the same color, again, going with the monochrome, right? If you were doing a white star, you could blanket stitch it with red, whatever you want. It looks cool. I probably won't do that. So that's the plan for that. And probably the tree as well, because it's not too bad. Snowman, probably. What I will probably do, though, is black blanket stitch for like the brim of his hat where it touches his face, and then white or black around the rest of him. But for trickier ones, like that reindeer maybe, because he's got lots of parts, right? So what I thought was, here, let's grab the paper. You can kind of see him. Okay, hold on. There. I'm going to do 2 reindeer pieces, okay? 1 piece of antler and 1 heart for his bum. So I think he might be tricky to stuff because of the shapes, right? Oh, hello, KD. Thanks, everybody. Oh, Enid's got... Joe is lurking and crafting and might eat some food. Well, it's almost lunchtime for you, Joe, isn't it? Yeah. Enid is tempted to teach my neighbor to cross stitch so we can stitch together. I'm getting desperate. Enid, if you want to do Zoom sometime and stitch, just send me an email. My Gmail's in the main part of my channel. Or FaceTime or not. Well, not. I don't. Now the iPad's not really good enough for that. Facebook video, maybe? Just let me know. So see what I mean? So I think what I might do, kind of like how I did the other ornaments with batting. So when I get him kind of done, I think I'm almost tempted to cut him out a little bit bigger. I gotta think about this because I don't think I can stuff him. It's gonna be too tricky. So anyway, what I was thinking was maybe I'll cut him out rough on the felt. And then I will take the 2 pieces of felt and put batting in the middle. Make a sandwich, felt, batting, felt. And then use the line that I've drawn as a sew line. And then I will have him like all together. And then I can take pinking shears and cut around, leaving a bit extra around my sew line. Does that make sense? That's kind of in the back of my mind of what I was thinking of, because that's the only way I can think of to get it halfway done without. Yeah. I think all the other ones I probably can stuff successfully. Probably. That one, maybe not so much. So we'll see. Okay. Okay. Joe says double pierced felt. Katie, I won a felt ornament kit from Sewn on an Expert 2 years ago. It's sitting on my to-do someday pile. Let us know how it turns out, Katie, when you do it. And Joe says, so instead of batting, double up on the felt for both sides. Yeah, I could do that. I mean, the felt's thick enough, I guess. I just wanted a bit more heft on it. That's what I was thinking of batting. And I don't really mind if you can see batting on the edge of it, like whatever. That's fine. Once you get pinked edges, they'll kind of ravel up anyway, and it looks just cute. So who cares what it is? And Enid says, have you ever sewed those vintage 70s, 80s ornaments that come on a big panel? No, I have not. But now, hang on. Now you mentioned that, Enid. Shoot, I just saw that not long ago. Somebody was doing it. Gee, cannot remember. But like in recent months, somebody on YouTube, it just came up in my feed, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I bet you could search it, and a bunch of people have done it. I just cannot remember who it was that I saw. Oh, coffee's getting cold. Yeah. Okay, let's get the good scissors out. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't pin the star yet. I'm halfway through, well, not halfway, partly through making the tea cozy. I have almost one side finished. So let's just cut that out roughly so we don't have a bunch of extra. That goes there. And we'll cut that out roughly too and do the tree at the same time. And that goes back in the bag. Those are little tiny bits of whatever. Okay, 2 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those. 1 hat. Okay. That goes back in the stash. Enid had a wild idea to do a whole tree of the 80s ones of Care Bears, Strawberry Shortcake, etc. That'd be cute, Enid. That'd be cute. Kim says she made some for her girls years ago. No clue if they still have them. Laura says Katie have several someday piles. Yeah, Enid, yeah, you just cut them out and sew them together. Yeah, put a ribbon in it. Bling it up if you want. They're really cute, actually. Kim says I got the panel at a yard sale after the oldest was born in 84, but didn't sew them till 94. Got packed to move. Took me that long to find them. Yeah, that's the problem with moving. Where did that go again? We've lived in our house for 21 years now. I think there's probably still stuff like in the garage that I don't know about. Okay, so here's the tricky cutting part. Trying to follow my partial line here. The light in here is not the most stupendous either. I kind of like this tree in particular because it's rounded. I think that'll be easier to stuff and deal with. Okay, I'm going to show you this tree in a second when I got it cut out because it's got like, it's rounded at the top. Again, it's supposed to be for making cookies, so I guess that's why. Maybe it's easier to get the cookie dough to come out of it or something. I don't know. But that might be a good place to sew the star onto. That little button. Okay, see what I mean? Star right about there. Maybe even sticking up a little bit too. That'd be right. It's 3/8 of an inch-ish. So if I sew it on pretty securely, and then I'll put the ribbon between those two little, right? And then star on there, ribbon up top. Right? Makes sense? Enid says I'm Gen X, FYI. She moved from BC to Colorado in 2010, and I'm certain I still have stuff in boxes. Kim has 2 containers that I haven't unpacked since 2010. It's stuff Mom packed, haven't been able to undo it. Someday. Yep. Enid. She spells it out, S-I-R-I. I asked how to clean a garburator, and he almost had a stroke. Yeah, that's a Canadian term. What? Yeah. So, Enid, explain what that is. All right, that's an acceptable piece of green felt. Now let's cut out Snowman. I don't think those are like in fashion anymore. And I think Enid and I are of a similar vintage. Okay, this felt is a little bit thinner and easier to cut. I'm doing the Snowman right now. Last night, speaking of Gen X and vintages, my husband and I, we've been married for 30 years, but I've known him for more like 40 because we went to high school together. We weren't together at the time. We were just palling around in the same group. And then we didn't sort of meet up again till later in the 90s. And he got tall and cute. And oh, hello. But yeah, we were listening to his Spotify playlist of Honeymoon Suite. Enid, you probably know who they are. Canadian rock band from the 80s. My American friends, you might know them from the love song from Lethal Weapon 2. And obviously I can't put links or anything, so you'll have to look that one up yourself. But one of my favorite songs of theirs is New Girl Now. It's a good banger. Stay in the Light. Good guitar intro. They got lots of good songs. Okay, this is a little tricky to get the hat area cut out. I probably should have got my smaller scissors out. But that's okay. I think it worked out fine. Okay. There's Snowman. Sans hat, but we'll get to that in a minute. And I can't remember how many strands of embroidery floss I used for the blanket stitch before. It was likely at least 4, maybe the whole thing, maybe all 6. I just don't remember. Again, watching tutorials and refreshing my memory, like I had to do for the tea cozy. It's like, what? So actually, I'm following a particular method. I'm going to link the video I'm following in the description box when I get that video done. But you can actually make them the same way you make bags. So I found a video for that too. So I'm going to put both of them in the description box because sometimes people explain stuff better than I do. So you can make it like a bag where you just make like the outside of the tea cozy, like you make a bag, and then you make the lining with a hole for turning through, and then you sew it around the rim, pull it out, turn the whole thing through, sew up the opening closed, stuff it in, top stitch. Not that difficult, but there's another way to do it too, and I'm going to do that way just because I've never done it and I want to try it out. It works kind of the same way. It's just a different order of sewing things together. And no, I'm not quilting it, which you totally could do. You could totally have a quilted tea cozy. I'm not going to. I'm just going to use basting spray and stick my batting on. Actually, here, I'll show you guys that you can have a sneak preview before I get the video done. I've got, there goes my big ruler. Sorry about that noise. I've got the big piece of blue ready to put on the top. I haven't sewn it yet. It's just pinned. So once that's done, I'm going to sew more fabric together for the other side. And I actually grabbed some wood grain fabric because I don't have that much of it. I'm going to put that on as the lining. Whatever. Who cares? It's the lining. And it's my tea cozy anyway. So that's partly done. Okay. Okay, but let me get back to chat here for a second. All right. Oh, Enid's on a blast from the past now. She says I regularly spew Canadian words still like parkade. Yeah. Yeah. That's common. And Platinum Blonde. Yep. She's been obsessed with Foreigner lately, though. Another good band. Kathy's been, yeah, Foreigner's been one of her favorite groups. The Box. Spirit of the West. And 5440. Yeah, if you look up Canadian rock bands, you might be surprised at the list. Okay, let's cut this out. I'm going to do the star now. Oh, maybe one more pin. Hold on. It's kind of big. Let me put this one down here just to be sure. Okay, don't wiggle around. Okay, hat, you go there. I'm trying to keep everything corralled out of my way so nothing happens to it as I'm talking to you. What time are we at? 10 after 9. Okay, I'm going to have to shut it down soon here, I think. But we'll carry on a bit. Okay, now a housekeeping thing I want to tell you all about. Heads up. I'm not going to be doing any more live streams in November. We got lots going on. I was thinking of doing it at the end of the month, but it's also busy. And then my American friends are having Thanksgiving and, it's just, yeah. So I'm not going to do it. And also to make it have more sense with the holidays in December, I have to change up the timing anyway. So I'm going to do a stream on the 5th and a stream on the 19th. Then we'll see after that. I think after that we're into January anyway. So, but that's all. Okay. Just because of my life at the moment. I can't do it. So there's your heads up. And I've had plenty of helpful suggestions from this wonderful support guy at Streamlabs. So I might be able to implement them. There's one where I can use an app on my phone and an app on the laptop, which might work. And plug my phone in so there's no lag. Possibly. Worth a shot anyway, I guess, right? And he also suggested I just get a webcam, which I was kind of thinking of anyway. My husband's got this old crappy one I'm not even going to attempt to use. It's from like 20 odd years ago. But they're not exactly super cheap or anything like that. So I might have to save up or ask for one for my birthday in March or something. Because that might just work. And if needs be, I can, that mic I have, I can put the pickup for the mic in the side of the laptop because it's got a USB entry. So that would help for that. And then I can move the eyeball as needed or whatever the webcam looks like. I just call it an eyeball because that's one we used to have ages ago. Again, I'm dating myself. So we'll see. But thankfully, the camera and the mic on this new laptop of mine is pretty good. I'm impressed so far. It just limits our camera angles is all. Okay. There. Now there's that. Oops, that's got a little Sharpie bit on it. We don't want that. We want rounded corners. There. Star. Junk. Oop, I'm going to dump out my garbage by the looks of it. Okay. Let's cut this out. I'm onto the paper now. So just in case I'm going to go with my sew line idea, I'm not cutting this reindeer out closely. I'm just kind of giving him a rough. Just so I don't have lots of paper hanging around him. There. Then I can be generous with the cutting out of my felt and just pinking shear it to size. Oh, hi, Sheila. Or Shalina, sorry. Hi. Oh, thanks for joining. Welcome. Where are you located? I recognize your name from somewhere. Yogi, maybe? I can't remember. I live near Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I'm cutting out my heart and the antlers roughly too, just for now. Although I'm probably Well, maybe the antlers I might have to cut bigger, at least on the top part, where it joins the head. I don't have to. I can cut that accurately and then do the blanket stitch on it or something. And the heart, I'll probably just blanket stitch onto his behind. But for now, we don't have a lot of paper flapping around. Sheila is... Oh, quilt and color. That's why you're right. Yeah. Sorry, Shalina, right. My brain doesn't compute sometimes. Getting old. Welcome. And she lives in Ohio, so welcome. Okay, that's got to go over there with my antlers. You stay there. And cut these ones out too. I'm cutting out patterns for making these ornaments and cutting out the felt on some of them too. That one I'll probably cut out precisely later on because it should be fine. And same with this gingerbread man. So we'll see what I can do next time on my live on the 5th. Maybe I'll be making these. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. The priority, though, was getting that tea cozy done. Because I want to be able to use it. Now is the time of year when sometimes we have tea in the afternoon. And we've just been wrapping a towel around the teapot for years, which is, I mean, it works fine. It keeps the tea hot, but not great aesthetic. Okay, so I'll cut out. We'll cut that out more, obviously. But these ones, I think I can just do the stuffing method. It's only the reindeer that's going to be a tricky problem. So, Shalina, since you didn't see the beginning, I have 2 trees cut out. I got to make this one a little bit more trimmed on the side. It didn't really cut out right. But that's okay. Trees are not perfect anyway, so that's fine. There, that's better. Okay. Yeah, it'll be fine. Put some bling on it. Hanging on the tree. It's all good. Okay, I think I've got everything done except for those other small ones. So let's get that out of the way for now. You could probably use the fusible fleece too, Enid, for the middle of these. Okay. For now, while I've got them here, I'm just going to trace out the bell and that other little smaller gingerbread man from my cookie cutter. Back when my kids were little and we actually made gingerbread cookies. They're all young adults now. They don't care. So, since we bought a fake tree last year for Christmas, buying real trees is getting horrifyingly expensive. So we just bought a fake one. It's quite nice, 7 feet tall. And we just make sure we don't put breakable ornaments on the bottom because of the dogs, because of tails, and they go, whoo, and the ornament's gone, right? But now in the household is our son's cat. So we will have to see how the tree goes with that, because Maylise might be interested in it. And I always put my village up on the mantle. And the village has lamp posts and little people and benches and stuff that would be fun for cats to play with. Bye, Alex. Thanks for coming in. So we'll have to see how that goes. Christmas could be interesting this year. Okay, there. Ina's going to go to the quilting store ASAP and buy a piece of fabric for my JBW design stocking freebie I stitched up. Yeah, good idea. That'll be cute. Enid says they have fake trees. Used to have a cat. Yeah. The lab is 11 and it isn't as crazy as he used to be. My sister has a crazy lab. I mean, Ferris and Henry are not really interested in the tree, but if they walk by it to like look out the window or something and the tail is like... That's why we don't keep stuff on the coffee table, because it doesn't stay there. They're just the wrong height, because they're tall dogs, right? They're big. Most of you know, except maybe for Shalina, because she hasn't been around my channel before, I have 2 Bernese Mountain Dogs. I'm going to put this bell on the gray and cut it out, but I'm reserving judgment about these little pieces because I might do different things. I just grabbed them just in case, but in the meantime, let's get this at least traced and pinned, ready to cut. And we'll see how it goes. And it says I've learned not to have bare legs near my dog. Yeah, the tails hurt. And Bernese Mountain Dogs have zero concept of space. So they really like to sit on your feet. It is 100% a breed trait. They turn around backwards and sit on your feet. And they're big dogs, but they have very bony hips. Or step on you. Does that too. With their big clodhopper feet. Especially Henry's. He has enormous feet. Okay. I'm really holding this cookie cutter down super tight onto the felt so it doesn't jiggle. There. Okay, that looks good enough. Okay, let's pin it. Okay, I'm pretty much ready to call this because we are at 9:21. Okay. So thank you for joining me as I blabber on about ornaments. Okay, so cut that. Those are good. Those are good. Yeah, the next plan is going to be, okay, how do I decorate everything? That's going to be the next one. I think I'm probably going to start with the snowman because I have the most of an idea for him. And maybe the star, because I pretty much have an idea for the star as well. So I will do a video of me doing them. I don't know how many I'll do in the video. Depends how the plan goes in my head, but Laura's got to run. I have to take my dad to the senior center for lunch and games. Sounds like fun. Thanks for popping in, Laura. Bye. Appreciate it. Enid's got a lab retriever and a black and tan coonhound. Ooh. Weird mix. He's like a supersized lab, about 90 pounds. Yeah, that's about what Ferris and Henry weigh. Henry's a little bit heftier, but not by much. They went to the groomers on Wednesday, so they're all nice and soft and fluffy and smell good now. And next month I will put their Christmas bandanas on them, so they look pretty. Okay, everybody. Yeah, I can't really carry on further until I make my plan. So I think I'm just going to cut those other 2 out and just put everything aside at the moment, and we'll get back to them. And Enos is about as graceful as a drunk grizzly bear. Yeah. Yep. Alice says Allison, thank you very much. Allison, this has been fun while I've been stitching as the latest Tempting Tangles mystery stitch. Ooh, sounds like fun. So, okay. Nothing the rest of the month. 5th of December, 19th of December. Making something. What? I don't know. Maybe these. Who knows? By the 19th, it could wind up being just chit chat because that's right before Christmas and I might not have anything to do. But at least it's a catch up. So I like to talk to my friends. Anyway, oh my God, I got stuff everywhere now. That's the problem with this, is putting it all away afterwards. Okay. Oh, shoot, there was my mouse. Goodness sakes. All right, so here we are. Yeah, 9:24, almost an hour. Thank you, everybody. I always appreciate it. Oh, what I'm wearing, can you see it? I'm wearing silver Christmas light earrings. I haven't been wearing them all the time, but I'm trying to get into the spirit a bit. So that's all. So I mean, I'll see you guys around other people's lives and visiting channels and whatnot. But I won't be doing live until next month. Thumbs up from Enid. Thank you. Yeah, send me an email. We'll figure out something. I got a little bit busy coming up, but it starts to chillax after that, and I got more time to stitch and whatever. So Kim says, thank you. Have a wonderful, blessed day. Kathy says, bye. Thanks, Kelly and everyone. Yes, have an excellent Friday. Have an excellent weekend. See you all around. Mwah. Bye.